Hello, welcome to Priority Vox Channel Secundus, Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yeah. So, I'm Hymetrium, also known as Thomas.
And I'm Patch Bornatsky, also known as Boris.
Yeah.
So, hello.
So, we're going to launch straight into this episode because we've got lots to cover. So, first thing, patch notes.
Yeah, I've been told this is very exciting.
Patch. Dawn of War 2 was patched this week.
Yep.
With patch 3.18.
Something.
Yep, something like that.
Numbers.
3.18 numbers on top of other numbers.
Yeah.
And we have a list of notes in front of us which we're going to discuss.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm. Okay. Let's be honest. I'm a pretty big noob when it comes to competitive play for Dawn of War. I quite like just messing around with you guys on the last stand and comp stomping. But yeah. Okay. So give me what's big. What's anything big's changed?
Right,
I know, like.
So I don't promise anything because I've been at the pro circuit for a little bit, but I will give what I can. So what the big things that happened this patch are there was a lot of buffing and nerfing.
Right.
There's a lot more buffing than nerfing in this patch, particularly on like unused Commander war gear.
Okay.
So just off the top, we're going to pull out the Space Marine list, and the Force Commander got loads of buffs to some of his less used gears. So Sword and Shield got more hit points, Artificer Armour got more regeneration, and Thunder Hammer got smash damage. So all of those are really big news for the Force Commander players because it means he's going to be, he's going to be tougher. He's going to be beating down a lot more. So not maybe a little. So like the Apothecary is percentage-wise from Brett's figures the least used hero, despite the fact we all know he's blatantly overpowered because he can heal any Space Marine unit, and every Space Marine unit has.
But he also res other heroes.
He can, no, no better than any other hero.
Okay.
He starts to get close and revive,
sure,
but he can revive himself with the new, the newly buffed armor of the Apothecarian. So another massive change they made this patch was to buff the Apothecary, who is a hero which we don't think really needed buffing, but he did get buffed, and he got one minor nerf, which is to reduce his energy regeneration.
Okay.
But the previously unused Sanguine Chainsword now has some pretty hefty health regeneration. I've already read the forums a little, but complaints are that he's damn near unkillable with it. So at the moment, if you were running like the old Bolter and Armor of Purity build to heal your dudes faster and spam loads of bullets, it's not really that great because now you can just get like a chainsword, run him in there, slice some enemies up. He'll regen.
So he's a close combat guy now.
Well, he's a lot better close combat hero.
Because off the top of my head, the Apothecary's
he's a pretty crappy close combat hero for a close combat hero.
Okay, so he's not that great in a close combat hero.
But this patch should bring him closer to that.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Some of the other buffs were like even the Tet Marines war gear got buffs, and Master Crafted Bolter, the one with the high powered shot.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's gone down in energy cost. The Consecrated Bolter, the one with Brothers in Arms, which is a useless ability, doesn't do much, so you're never going to buy it anyway. But the damage is brought in line with Master Crafted, I think. So it's a 65. Plasma Devastator projectile now ignores terrain. That's happened for a lot of these sort of weapons.
Yeah, I remember.
A lot of the weapons are now going to
across all the races. Clip annoyingly.
It's quite a pain in the arse when you see your perfectly aimed shot clip the ground.
Because they always fuck. They shoot so slowly as well, like the Plasma Devastators and whatever the other weapons.
And you've already got Scatter on them as well, so this is really good for like their usability and make them a lot more reliable.
Really nasty though.
They are.
I remember.
Yeah, just one hit on a small blob, like
right in the middle of a squad of something not too tough. They turn into red mist.
They do turn into red mist. And then the final really big one was the biggest change to Terminators. Terminators no longer level.
Now I remember you saying this was a lot of the races, like their best unit now no longer level. It's a couple of units.
Yeah, so the only two races in this patch I was aware of are Orcs and Space Marines. So the Terminators and the Knobs. Okay. It's some of the most complained about units in the game, but that they have their niche sort of thing.
Okay.
So the problem with Knobs is that they level up, they get really fucking tough, and of course they can already turn invulnerable.
They're bad enough when you bring them in at the first thing, but when you use them for a while.
Yeah, so after you keep retreating them, and obviously the thing about knobs is you can retreat them, whereas you can't retreat Terminators. So
Right.
knobs are always a pain in the arse, especially when they're invulnerable.
Okay.
And of course Terminators themselves have a really good escape mechanic with teleports. So you've got
Yeah.
these units which you can't damn near kill because they've already got like squillions of hit points.
Unless you're winning lots. But
Well, unless you have a massively superior army, if someone drops something like that out, you're going to be a bit fucked for a bit.
yeah.
So that was the big deal for Space Marines. That covers some of the tier 3 problems we're encountering. Obviously, the super units were all changed with Retribution to not level anyway, so this is a step in the right direction.
Okay.
Right, on to Chaos. Chaos Lord got a single buff, reducing the cost of his Harness of Rage by 25 requisition, nothing special. And his Combi Bolter, Combi Flamer Bolter got its damage reduced, so he can't kill those kiting scouts so easily anymore. So whenever anyone runs away because he's running towards them, he's not going to do so much damage shooting them if you have that.
Okay.
They reduced the cost of Demonic Visage, which is still useless in comparison to say something like Dark Halo. Or I can't remember, Icon of Khorne, which regenerates health on every hit. So he's got like he's still like not hurting. He's still got one solid war gear option, and I don't think Demonic Visage is going to see too much use. The Plague Champion's Icon of Nurgle got nerfed. It's quite a nasty, large AOE of damage on a hero who normally would have a Power Fist and run in and just smack you around a bit with it. The Chaos Space Marine Champions got a cost reduction, which is a big deal, but not so much a bigger deal when you think of it that they're just an extra squad member, really.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're nowhere near as good as, say, a Space Marine Sergeant who gives you, and they shall know no fear.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Which is still a damn nice skill, if I do say so. Good for melee, good for ranged. But obviously the Chaos Space Marines didn't have anything that good, so it was good to see them reduced in cost. Shrines all round got buffed, apart from the Khorne one, which already spams Bloodletters like there's no tomorrow. So maybe people have more reason to build shrines now, especially Zenith shrines, which should act like turrets almost.
Okay.
There was a lot of other changes to demons. Blood Crushers got quite hit quite hard with the nerf back. They build slower, and they don't gain as much energy on hit. It looks like Noise Marine's got another buff, as if they weren't good enough already.
Right.
So
that's a mistake, do you?
No, I think it's potentially going to make them even more a better buy than they already were.
Right. Because that's what Chaos needs.
I think so. I think Chaos always needed a bit more variety.
Okay.
And less of a no power build in tier 1, which is always a pain in the arse. It means they hit tier 2 faster. Now this was a good patch for Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
So they got Stormtroopers. They got the Assault Kit got super buffed. It doesn't have a damage penalty on it anymore, in case you didn't know.
I mean, they are a tier 2 unit, right? So
yeah, but they're only 400
effective.
requisition. So if you think about it, if you skip out on like a Sentinel or a Guard Squad in tier 1 and just get a Stormtrooper in tier 2, they're now a really good buy.
Especially if you patch, if you tier quickly.
Yeah, but and of course assault kits now are a really good buy. Yeah, I mean it costs 475 requisition, but you have a squad which is quite powerful there.
Yeah.
So that's obviously something important. The Inquisitor got a nerf on her hammer, put a buff on her Rosarius. Commissar's Execution of Inspired Determination isn't as good as it used to be. It's the one with Bionic Eye, so it used to restore hit points and grant a speed modifier. It doesn't do that anymore. That's what I was meant to say. The Stormtrooper kits themselves now have a cost associated with them.
Right. Okay.
So
because of course you could pick one.
You could always pick one, and it was always free. But ever since they changed them last patch so that they had sprint and didn't have the infiltration anymore, and could always be infiltrated. And then finally they've decided to just put a cost on the kits and make the kits that much better. Okay. They're still both great buys, but it's still like a hard choice between like anti-vehicle, which is always important in tier 2, and long range high powered damage.